I'd like to take the next little bit to talk about some of the things that PDF enables that you may not be aware of. My hope is that by the end of this, you will learn at least one thing that you can take back and say, I didn't know PDF could do that. I didn't know PDF had this capability. PDF, it's a big standard. It contains multitudes. This session is not going to be PDF specification trivia. We're not going to talk about app 14 markers in JPEG 2000 streams. If that's what you're hoping for, I'm sorry. Okay, so we lost one person already. Instead, we think of PDF as a document format, which it is. And we think of documents as pieces of information that we author, that we publish, that we share, sometimes that we collaborate on. But PDF has a number of capabilities related to working together on documents, working together through the process of updating documents, of authoring documents, and of preserving documents in the long term. So we're going to break this into 4 broad topics. Security, which is keeping information safe. Collaboration, which is you and I and others working together. Interoperability, which will be your tools and my tools working together. And information exchange, which is about our computers understanding each other's data. So we're going to talk about PDF capabilities, going to give an important disclaimer. Things that I will talk about just because PDF can do it does not mean your software can. In fact, I'll be talking about a number of things that there may not be any implementations that take full advantage of PDF's capabilities. But I'm hoping to inspire you to think about rallying for bringing some of these to market. Who am I am Matt Kuznicki. I chair the PDF Association. I've been involved in the PDF developer community since the year 2000. I remember when the year 2000 sounded futuristic. PDF was futuristic back in 2000. Now it is established technology. I've been involved in the developer community since 2012. I remember when that felt like it was a long time ago, but maybe not. And I have had for almost all this time an interest in promoting the widespread adoption of PDF and its capabilities, and in promoting interoperability. So let's start off with a fairly light topic. Let's talk about saving the world. Or at least let's talk about how PDF has helped us save the world just a little bit. Now, it's estimated that more than 10 trillion PDFs have been made since PDF was created. If we think maybe PDF has prevented, let's say 10% of those from being printed. That's 1 trillion documents that haven't gone through a printer. If these are just one-page documents, well, that's 1 trillion pages that have been saved. Still, 1 trillion sheets of paper. What is 1 trillion sheets of paper? That's north of 50 million trees saved by PDF. And what's 50 million trees? That is enough trees, if we planted them, that would take up the entire Seattle area, the city of Seattle. And at 100 million trees, we might take up most of the whole metro Seattle area. We just remove it all, put the trees back. That's how many trees we may have saved with PDF, if not more. If you want to think about stacking paper in reams really tightly, this would actually go around the Earth more than 2.5 times. It would look kind of weird to have a ring of paper around the Earth, never mind twice, but We've prevented with PDF enough pieces of paper from being printed that if we wanted to, we could do this. You know what else we could do? We could make one PDF that held all trillion of these pages. There's no longer a 10 gigabyte file size limit in PDF. There's no longer a 200 inch by 200 inch page size limit. We can cram all these trillion pages that we have prevented from being printed into one PDF file. Might be hard to find a drive to store it right now, but we can do it. We can also even take all of these, assuming they're A4 or letter size pages, or not too far off. We could impose all of these on one PDF sheet if we wanted. It's going to be hard to find a printer to actually roll that sheet through, but we can do it. PDF page sizes are big enough, we might be able to impose all of the PDFs that are estimated to have been made in all of time onto one sheet. Not many people know that PDF can do this, but you can. Just don't try it with your implementation, please. Okay, in more seriousness, we've saved the world, so let's secure the world, or at least the world's documents. How about that? We're all familiar with PDF document security. We're familiar with password security and being prompted for passwords to open PDFs. What we may not appreciate as much is the standardized mechanisms behind security that allow a document that you create in Microsoft Word that requires a password to be opened up in a viewer like Foxit's PDF viewer, for example. The interoperability aspect and not being locked into one implementation. This mechanism, we know it allows users to state actions that we shouldn't be allowed to do. Honoring these used to be mandatory, but as of 32,001, the PDF police aren't really going to come after you anymore, but I still, on behalf of the PDF Association, urge you to honor those. And with PDF 2.0, we gain AES 256 compatibility, which is generally thought of as resistant or able to withstand quantum cryptographic attacks. So if you put a good password on your PDF now and you use a PDF 2.0 security, you should be able to fend off those weird quantum computers a bit later on. But this is a security that we're accustomed to. Security is so much more than just password protection. Security is also public-private key security in PDF that lets you create a PDF and only allow for specific individuals to be able to open this PDF. Not just specific individuals to open it, you can give different individuals different permissions for these files. I can say that user A should only be allowed to view this document. User B, C, and D should be allowed not just to open, but to edit and to change this document. Again, this is a workflow that takes advantage of interoperability standards. So supporting implementations, you can, in Adobe Acrobat, for example, specify specific individuals for a document when you're saving, and in a compatible viewer, open those up, and only those individuals can open that document. Documents can also be partially encrypted. So when you have embedded files, when you have associated files, when you have embedded data streams, we can use crypt filters to encrypt only parts of documents, which means that different parts of PDF, inside a PDF, can be encrypted through different mechanisms. This allows workflows such as online access checking, such as digital rights management built into PDFs, allows, for example, storing thumbnail images on a PDF page and requiring authentication to see a high-resolution version of those. This allows for better protection than what's in the PDF specification. Of course, all of the tools in your workflow need to be aware of your implementation, but PDF allows you to do this. PDF even allows you to embed a document in your PDF to let a user know that they need a proprietary or a supporting workflow or implementation. Security is not just about protection, but it's also about authentication. Now, many of us know that digital signatures are common in used to signing agreements for specifying a legal agreement. What we might not be aware of is that digital signatures do not need to be visible. Invisible digital signatures are a very handy tool for putting in the ability to detect tampering with files without implying that that signature constitutes a legal agreement. We can store in PDF via the Document Security Store and its timestamp dictionary the information that we need to do this validation and this tampering protection, not just today, but far into the future. And we can use these digital signatures, whether they're visible or not, they include the ability to state what is a permissible modification to a PDF before it should be considered tampered with. So, for example, form filling, commenting, you're able to digitally sign a PDF and to state that users should be allowed to fill in forms without triggering a security warning. Speaking of users, PDF enables collaboration, enables people to work together. Now, one of the coolest features of PDF that I think is not well appreciated is its standardized annotation format. So the fact that various annotations, so markup, commenting, digital signatures, other forms of annotations are well defined means that we can pass documents from person to person. We can mark these up, we can send these back. We know this. FDF, Forms Data Format, and its XML variant, XFDF, allow us to be able to pass annotations and comments back and forth from person to person without having to keep passing a whole PDF document. We can just pass the FDF, the information about annotations back and forth, and collaborate in real time just through passing this information instead of whole documents, as you would need to do it, for example, other file formats. Now, FDF, we can pass comments and markup, but we can also pass templates for when somebody wants to add pages to a PDF, what added pages should look like. We can use this not just to think of people typing at a keyboard, adding pages. We can also use this to think about supporting automated page additions from templates. So automated statement generation, for example, from a common agreed upon template that you and I and others, we may have come to agree that this is our template. Now we can automate the generation of statements or of like format documents from that template. PDF has an incremental update capability, which I think most of us are aware of. Less well known is that this supports versioning of PDF content, that you can save different versions of PDF. You can use this to support editing and modification workflows. What's even less well known is that these updates do not need to be one after the other in a linear chain. PDF actually supports branching models of incremental updates so that different contributors can work from a common baseline, and we don't need to pass along a PDF every time somebody edits it. We can let people edit it on their own, and PDF has the information to be able to then reconcile these edits and these updates. Incremental updates also allow the creation of PDFs that are standards compliant with more than one version of PDF. So for example, if you have a PDF that you want to support PDF 2.0 capabilities, but you also want to make sure that earlier systems that don't support PDF 2.0 can handle these. Versioning is an easy way to bring out a PDF 1.7 document and then with an update, transform the content that you want to be PDF 2.0 enhanced into what's now a PDF 2.0 document. So incremental updates allow these. We know that they allow storing and accessing versions and working drafts, revisions of documents in one file, and they pass around, and we've seen how it can maximize compatibility. Enables working together. PDF also enables our tools to work together. So PDF is an open data platform. I think it's something that many of us have heard a lot about. We'll hear more about that panel this afternoon. But associated files, which came about with PDF-A3, or PDF 2.0, and their file specification dictionaries now allow embedded files in PDF along with the information about what these files mean. And these files can be attached not just to documents, but to pages, to content streams, to specific images and other streams in a PDF. So we can store source pages for PDF documents and PDF pages, such as the Word file that I might have used for authoring a PDF in the PDF itself, and extract that out for editing, repurposing, and workflows. We can take a metadata stream and we can associate its schema or its DTD or its other characteristics so that programs know how to process this metadata. We can provide alternate versions, alternate formats, renditions for tag PDF content. We can embed MathML, for example, directly in with tag PDF for extraction for those workflows that can take advantage of that. And we can connect up content and its tag PDF elements to these packages of data. This all comes together to allow the use of PDF as an open data container. Likewise, the standardization of annotation formats and form data formats that I talked about allows not just us as people to work collaboratively on editing and working on documents, but it allows different tools from different vendors to do the same. This enables workflows such as using Adobe Acrobat to propose redactions in a document and bringing these to a different program. Say I want to have an approver workflow for these redactions before they get applied. Standardization allows this interoperability between these different programs. We can pre-populate form data from one program before it's presented to a user, or we can populate it at the user's in the user's environment at rendition time. They can open, update, and they can save in their preferred environment and transfer information back in a standardized way to different tools and different formats. And again, we can allow multiple people to work on PDFs collaboratively in real time, not just in the same ecosystem, but across different tools from different vendors now. PDFs can, as I touched on, adhere to different PDF standards and versions. So a PDF A3 file can be a valid PDF 1.7 file and viewed appropriately. This is pretty intuitive. I talked about how you can use version updates to make PDFs backward compatible and forward compatible. And PDFs can adhere to multiple substandards or multiple variants at the same time. A PDF A3 file can be a valid PDF UA1 file, can be archivable and accessible. We can also, via document requirements, let documents tell tools and workflows and users what PDF features they need to support for an optimum experience. So, information exchange. PDF also allows computers to work together. So document parts allow grouping collections of pages together into single units so that I can repurpose these units. This comes from the variable and transactional world where I might need to combine different pieces of a finished work together. But it also allows specifying alternate viewing orderings, processing orderings for PDF processors, and for extracting specific collections of PDF pages out for specific use and conditions. Logical content allows workflows to define their own semantics for the structure in PDF. Most of us, if we're familiar with logical content, we're familiar with it from tag PDF. What we may not realize is that tag PDF is just one implementation of semantic structure. The PDF standard allows implementers and communities to make their own semantic structure. They can use what's defined in PDF for structure, but not required to do so. Workflow can structure its content semantically however it wishes with logical content. So this makes it fairly trivial to represent XML encodings in PDF or other markup languages in PDF semantic structure through logical content. We can even put multiple attributes from different sets on structure for maximum interoperability. So I may have MathML attributes, I may have HTML attributes as well on the same content for use with different processors. That's complicated. Tag PDF is a standardized use of logical content, is well known for accessibility enablement, but it also enables transforming pages for alternate forms, for alternate formats, and for repurposing information, and for mapping this into other definitions for other workflows. That's a lot of data. I know, short time, but PDF lets you express all this and lets programs and computers work together to exchange data. Logical content is separate from visual content on a PDF page. It's related, but it's a much richer way to describe content. It can be ordered differently than visual ordering. It can have different semantics and content extraction as is best for a given workflow. So PDF pages, their visual appearance, it's designed for exchange with other humans. Logical content is designed for computers to speak together in their own native languages. Wow, that was a quick tour, eh? So look, wrap up. PDF is well known for reliable visual presentation. Less known has been PDF's capabilities for collaboration, for interoperability, for information exchange. I hope that you've learned something about how we can use PDF to work together. There are powerful features of PDF to support different use cases. Tool vendors, implementations can use these to work together, interoperability. So I'm going to end with a call to action for those vendors, those implementers in this room. I'm going to say, let's work together to work together. With that, I'll say thank you.